Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'll be sharing with you guys my first radio interview that I did with Bush Radio last year. I didn't even know this video existed until a few days ago when Joel showed it to me, and I was like, wait, this would actually be a good video to share with my YouTube family just to get to know me a bit better. So yeah, it is the full interview. I was very nervous, but without further ado, let's get into the video.
And right now joining me in studio is Kaylin Petersen, and she's a 20-year-old photographer from Cape Town, and she has no professional training in this, but she's also taking time to study psychology this year. And she basically captures lifestyle events, weddings, and recently she did her first birth shoot at hospital. So she is going to be telling us a little bit more about herself and also what can also be expected from her side. So good afternoon, how are you doing?
I'm very well, and yourself?
I'm good, thank you, and thank you very much for coming through.
It's such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So firstly, Kaylin, I want to know if you can just tell us a little bit more about how your journey started, or how you basically picked up your first camera, or how that blossomed from there.
Wow, my friends always used to come over for sleepovers, and I had this small digital camera that I had, and we just dress up and take pictures behind a blank wall, and we just a whole night just take pictures. And then I think it was in the end of grade 8 that Christmas I got my first semi-professional camera. And then I would just take pictures at family events and our friends, and then one day I just decided I'm going to create a Facebook page to see how it goes. And then from there people would message me asking for rates, and I was like, what? Like, me? Really? You want me to take your photos? And then from there just grew. I didn't want to charge people in the beginning. I was very like, no, you can't pay me, like I'm not a photographer, like. And then my parents would be like, no, but you have to charge a small amount, maybe traveling or petrol money. And then from there just grew. And then I think only after matric, when I took a gap year, that's when I started taking it more seriously, business-wise. And I'm like, no, but I have to go out, and I can't ask my parents for money. So it was a nice way to have an income and to sustain myself. And so yeah, I just grew from there, and now I'm here.
And how has the feedback been?
Very positive. Like, I have a big support structure with my friends and my family. They always sharing my posts on Facebook, and word of mouth. I'll always hear, oh, I got your number from this one or that one, and yeah, I'm very grateful for that, because I mean, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today.
And this year you're basically studying you're going to be studying psychology, and you don't want to put your photography on the side. So how are you going to balance both?
Well, I did it last year as well. Last year I studied my first year of psychology at Varsity College, and it was very hectic because I had to go into classes every day and still edit late at night and things like that. But I knew I had to get a degree because my parents didn't see photography as a sustainable income for the future. Like, they wanted a degree and something more, proof that I studied and things like that. So a career just in case photography fell through whenever it did, and I agree with them. So I'm pushing through this 3 years, balancing photography, and it's hectic. Like, I don't have much time for myself. But I try to balance a social life, photography, and everything else going on.
But your love is basically for photography.
Yes, and that's why, like, when it gets tough, I know that studies come first, but I know I have to push through, because if I can't get through the studies, the photography is going to have to take a backseat, and I don't want that to happen. Because imagine after 3 years, you come back, you have your degree, and you're like, okay, let me pick up my camera again. Everyone's going to be like, wait, who are you? Like, you've been gone for 3 years, and there's no proof, there's no work that you're improving, and so I won't be able to start up again from where I am now.
So you want to keep the two together?
Yes, definitely. I want to keep, I don't want to become stagnant in either my studies or photography, so I have to keep both going at the same time.
And when it comes to exam times, and you know, that is mostly the times when people think, okay, I want to get married now or whatsoever. So gigs for photography is higher that times. So how would you balance that?
I struggle to say no. A lot of people know me, but like, I tell myself a few months before exams, I'm not booking shoots. I'm gonna focus on my work and things like that. And then someone's like, oh please, it's my wedding next Saturday, and you know, I really need a photographer. And I'm like, okay, I'm writing on Monday. Your wedding's on Saturday. Okay, yeah, I'll do it for you, you know. I'll do it. I'll come and I'll study Sunday. And I always tell myself that. And then when Sunday comes and I'm so tired because weddings end like 12 o'clock and you're on your feet all day. And then come Sunday, I'm just like, I'm so tired. But then I just have to push through because I know I said yes to do your wedding and now it's time for me to study. So either way, I have to push through. But I always tell myself I'm not booking a lot of shoots, and then come the month of exams and then every weekend's full. So.
And you also do have a support structure that guides you and steers you when you do feel like, especially when it comes to friends and so forth, you don't want to say no.
Yes.
And they say, okay, but my baby is getting whatever,
Yes.
or I have a wedding, or whatever event might come up. So do they tend to make that decision for you?
Not necessarily like my.
Or guide you during that process to say, look here, if you're gonna go do this, this is the implication of this, or if you don't do this, then.
Well, throughout like school and everything, like I've never needed much pushing or guidance when it came to that because my parents always knew like she knows the priority, so she's not gonna take on things that she knows she can't deal with. So like even with homework and simple things like that, they never needed to tell me. Like they'll always say, oh, but with Kaylin I've never needed to tell her she must do homework. With my brother it's like a different story. So with shoots, they know if I'm gonna do the shoot, I know the implications of that. So if I'm gonna take on a shoot, I must be able to know that I have time to study as well.
And if you need to describe yourself as a photographer, what type of photographer would you say you are?
I'm, how can I describe myself? I'm very much more for natural things. I don't like I always tell my friends, like I don't like studio shoots. Like I can't sit with people in front of a white background and expect for their personality to show. Take them to a forest, let them run around, let them play between the trees or whatever. So it's more natural, it's more fun, it's natural lighting. It's the more natural, the better for me. So that's basically it. I like people when they laugh. I don't like pose shots. I like in the moment you're laughing, you're looking into your fiance's eyes or your partner's eyes, and in that moment, like I want to capture that. Or I'll tell her like maybe give her a spin or dance with her, and that moments are much better than standing perfectly next to each other and having the perfect smile for me.
And what would you say is the biggest challenges that you are faced with when it comes to capturing these moments and so forth? Because, you know, people want to post. I don't want you to catch a offside of me or something like that. I want the picture to come out perfect. So, what do you do? What are the struggles? How do you overcome those?
The client's always right. Sometimes I hate to admit it, but I always, if they have something specific in mind, like I tell them before the time, if there's anything specific that you want photographed, let me know before the time so I can see what they want out of it, so they can have the best experience possible with me. Because if I'm going to enforce my ways on them all the time, they're not going to enjoy the shoot because it's not what they wanted. So at the end of the day, they are paying for my service, so it's about what they want more than what I want. So if they want to stand behind a colorful wall the whole day and take a picture in that certain light, for that hour, I'm their photographer. It's what they want. So I'll do it. Like I'll suck it up. I'll be like, Kaylin, it's just for an hour. Just do what they want. And then at the end of the day, but normally people are open to my suggestions. So I appreciate that. The clients who are like that.
And how would you describe your most memorable moment, or what was that?
Oh, recently I did a birth. So I didn't tell many people about it in the beginning. I didn't want people to know that I was doing it because people can be very judgmental, especially the older crowd. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm doing a birth. And they'll be like, what? You want to see that? So much blood and this. And I was looking forward to it. Like, I couldn't keep it in anymore. I was like so excited. And then I did the birth quietly. And then when I posted the pictures on Facebook, the response was out of this world. I think I got like almost 30 odd shares and so much likes, and I was like blown away. And all the people that told me, wow, we didn't expect it to be like this, like the emotion that you could capture in a hospital. I mean, like, they couldn't believe it. They expected gruesome blood everywhere, but it wasn't that at all. It was like just capturing the moments, that first moments with their baby. There was tears and the doctor's reactions and things like that. It was really priceless being in a theater with all those professionals, and here I am 20 years old with a camera in my hand. Like, I can't compete. Like, they studied 7 years to just be here, and I have an opportunity just to take pictures, and that was like amazing.
And you posting this stuff on social media, and that is your biggest platform where you do showcase your work and so forth. How do you deal with criticism?
Criticism, there's always gonna be criticism, but I feel like the positive outweighs it. So in my case, it's like I'll just put it to the back of my mind. I won't really pay attention much to when people criticize me, because I mean, like, it's one out of how many positive comments. So I mean, like, if I'm gonna focus on that, like, I'm always gonna be miserable. So I'll rather overlook the negatives.
And what can also be expected from you here in 2019?
Wow, in 2019, now that I'm gonna study through UNISA rather, I'll have more time to focus on my photography. So hopefully start doing more weddings, because last year I put weddings off because of studies. So I really want to get back into the wedding game, and so do more of that and just continue shooting and helping people create more memories for themselves. So yeah.
And you got to work with some excellent people as well. So if you can elaborate a little bit more on them.
Yeah, so I did some community work with Sia Kulisi's wife, Rachel Kulisi. So we went to the school in Zikufle where we redid the whole library, and then I spent the day at the school with her, where we just interacted with the kids and things like that. And it was so breathtaking, like the people that are in such high places, like how humble they are to go into areas that are gang-ridden and things like that. They like put their pride aside and go to help people like that. That was really amazing. And then like bloggers and things like that I'll shoot. So yeah, it's basically just to get my name out there, to build myself to a point where I can be like sustainable and I don't have to maybe hustle as hard. But yeah, it's fun to work with new people. Like, I enjoy it, and so yeah.
And would you say is your biggest or has been your biggest influence?
With regards to photography,
Yeah.
wow, there's so many. Like, I don't actually want to say people overseas, because it's mainly photographers from Cape Town. There's so many that I actually look up to. So I can't really put a name to it, but if I follow you on Instagram, it's you.
And one more question. I just want to know a little bit more about youngsters pursuing this career path and making a career out of photography. As you said in the beginning, your parents didn't think this would be sustainable at the end of the day, so you need to study something that you can have a degree,
Yeah.
and so forth. So would you pursue more youngsters to engage in photography?
I mean, if you really love it, you can. You're gonna get a lot of negative comments. Like, people's gonna tell you like there's no work for you. You can't do it. Like, you need a stable income. How are you gonna sustain a family? How are you gonna pay a car? Things like that. Like, what if 1 month you get no shoots? People are really gonna tell you that things. And like, in the beginning, you're gonna believe them, because you're not gonna have as many shoots. You're gonna struggle at first. Like, it's not an overnight thing. But you'll see eventually, if you continue, like if it's something you really want to do and you continue, you'll see that the income will start coming in, and it's because you love it. So the income shouldn't really matter. Like, my friend told me that the reason she wanted to do art, and she said the reason why she's getting a degree is because, like, if you're gonna sustain yourself with your passion, you're gonna start hating it, because 1 month you're not gonna get shoots, and you're gonna feel like, oh, I hate photography. I can't put food on the table because I didn't get to shoot, and it's gonna feel like a burden on your life. So get that degree and use that as your main income, and then use your passion as an outlet to feel free and to do what you love, maybe on a weekend, and it will help in that case.
So basically use it as a hobby and so
Yes.
forth to keep you
Until
occupied.
you are established enough to do it on its own.
And then lastly, I also want to know, when people do, or anyone for that matter, as you've basically said, you had no training and so forth. So the first equipment or the device that you basically use is a smartphone, because that is the first thing you capture these moments with,
Yeah.
and so forth. So what would you advise youngsters if they want to pursue photography and so forth? Is it important for them to study photography in order to know the background around photography, or can you basically just pick up a camera and just do what you want or do what you love?
That's a yes and no for me, because people think it's easy. In the beginning, it will be if you set your camera on auto and you just decide you're going to press a button and you're going to take pictures of.
But that
any
basically
random
also
thing.
depends on the camera that you choose, eh?
Yes and no. Like, the first camera that I started on, it had an auto mode, and then it had the manual mode, which is more professional. So I started clicking away on auto, and I was like, no, I can do this. Like, I'm taking pictures, and then eventually you realize, like, wait, you're trying to improve yourself every day, and just clicking this button's not like, it's not for me anymore. So you try and you YouTube things. Like, that's what I did. I was like, okay, how do I shoot on manual? And I would ask people, can you teach me this? And I was struggling in the beginning. And then just when I got used to that camera on manual mode, I was like, no, but this isn't doing it for me anymore. And then I wanted a new camera. And then I had to figure out the next one, how to shoot on manual again, which I also could have just set on auto and shot like I wanted to. So it all depends on you, how far you want to take it, how professional you want to go. If you just see it as you want to have a hobby, and you can just press it on auto. But if you really want to get into it, start doing it more professionally and have more control over your lighting and exposure, things like that, then I would suggest like going manual and asking for help. Like, don't be ashamed to ask another photographer, can you please show me this? It doesn't make you less of a person, like, asking.
And how can people get more information around you if they want to hire you or book you and so forth?
Okay, they can email me, book via email. It's Kaylin Petersen Photography at gmail.com, or they can just follow me on any of my social media on Facebook or Instagram, and then DM me from there, and we can get chatting.
And Kaylin is basically Kaylin.
Yes.
So that's Kaylin Petersen, so it's quite easy. Petersen, sorry.
Yes.
So it's quite easy to get hold of you, and like you said, you are on all social media platforms, so they can just go check out your work around there. Are there any additional words in closing?
To everyone that supported me from day one, for sharing my posts late at night, you are, for getting me to point A to point B, everyone who had a hand in my photography and to where I am today, I just want to say thank you to them. To everyone who's trying to become a photographer, just don't listen to the negative comments, because there's going to be a lot, but rather focus on the positive, keep your eye on the prize, and you can do it.
Thank you very much, Kaylin, for coming through and telling us a little bit more about the work that you are doing, and all the best for your career towards becoming that dream photographer that you are dreaming of. And like you've mentioned, people can get hold of you via your social media platforms, and that is Kaylin Petersen, and it's quite easy to find you, and Kaylin is Kaylin. And on that note, we'll go to the sounds by Look At Me Now, and that's going to be taking us to the news at 1 with Miriam. So do keep it locked to Bush Radio 89.5 FM. There you go, guys. That is the end of my radio interview. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Tap that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.